and gentlemen, it's time for the main event of the evening. 60 minutes of football fun and banter with Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV. Are you ready? Let's get ready to rumble.
Strap yourself in, because we're set up, switched on, and ready to go.
Listen on your favourite podcast platform or ask your smart speaker to play the podcast Leicester Till I Die.
Subscribe, like, follow and join in now.
This is your host, Chris.
No! God, please, no! No!
I know, I'm sorry, but he's cheap and available.
How rude.
Right, Chris.
As I say, always extremely cheap, always extremely available. Good afternoon, one and all. How are we? Welcome back. The Premier League continues tonight. We are at home to Fulham, which on paper should be a game we should win. But we know football is not played on paper, don't we? I'm still trying to get my head around last night's result because it says an awful lot about Liverpool, I think, that they couldn't beat us apart from 2 own goals. But then Brentford go and beat them. So Liverpool have got a lot of questions. And I did, if you haven't read it yet, please go to the BBC website and go under football. Go to the Leicester City page. And every Tuesday, they have a feature called Tuesday Talking Point. And I've written today's. I do it every Tuesday during the season. Didn't for the World Cup, but the rest of the time I do. And I sort of said, which Leicester's going to turn up tonight? Is it the Leicester that we saw turn up against Newcastle? Hopefully not. Is it the Leicester that turned up against Liverpool and should have come away with something? I mean, even the Liverpool fan I did the watch along with, Doug, even he said, yeah, you should have got something from the game. So I'm worried because I don't know which Leicester's going to turn up. You know, before the World Cup, we had 2 Leicesters. We have the Leicester that started the season and the Leicester that finished the season. Now, Andrew, I've got to be honest with you, I am getting a little bit worried. Gray is in. Afternoon, Chris. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well, Gray. Hope your health is okay. Marcus is in, a newest member. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good day, Marcus. Thank you very much for joining in here. Brad is in. Good evening, good afternoon. So let's hope for 3 points. Liverpool are in turmoil. Yes, they are. Why aren't we taking advantage? I saw the Liverpool TV come in. You did? All right, yeah. Brad went for 3-1 to Brentford in the prediction league. I'll get in that there for him. Gray, I predicted 2-0 to Brentford. Look, am I the only one that went for Liverpool? Talking of Liverpool, Doug is in. Good afternoon, Doug, my cohort for the watch-alongs during the World Cup and, of course, for the Liverpool game, him being a Liverpool fan. We are up shit creek without a paddle. Honestly, that defeat to Brentford is not at all surprising. Leicester City were unlucky not to get anything off us the other night. Really poor last night. But still Klopp in. Are you still Klopp in, Doug? And good morning over there in the good old US of A to Nate. How the devil are you, sir? Thank you very much for joining us. The worry I've got is that we have got a very, very stubborn manager. And we're not this used to stubborn managers. One word, ostrich. But I'm worried that his stubbornness is going to cost us. First of all, the first thing I'm worried about is when Wesley Fofana first joined us, he was surprised at the intensity of our training. Should we then be surprised at the number of non-playing injuries that we seem to get? You know, the players coming back not fit, players coming back before they should because we haven't got players. Players aren't getting in the right. You know, we sacked Dave Rennie. It all seems to have gone a little bit tits up since then. We've got this, thank God, we've got this brand new training complex with all the health facilities there because I think we're keeping the trouble off the NHS. So I don't know. I'm just worried at Rodgers' training techniques. I'm always worried that when you've got a stubborn manager, that sometimes he goes down to the line. I mean, let's not forget the Great Escape year. How stubborn Nigel Pearson was in not picking Mark Albrighton. And that was because of something his wife had tweeted, allegedly. Now, that is fine. But as soon as he brought him back in, the Great Escape started. Coincidence? I think not. But he is that stubborn. God knows what he has been doing with Kagler Soyuncu. An absolutely brilliant defender. Let's face it, when we signed him and we took him, and he came on and replaced Maguire, who had gone to United, we were sort of saying, who's Harry Maguire? And he'd been brilliant for us. Shit for Man United, I grant you, but brilliant for us. And he then goes and has a bad Euros, but we should be supporting him. And he came back, and that season, yes, he had a bad season, but we were struggling that season. Refused to play him, and yet apparently he's good enough for a regular quarter-finalist in the Champions League squad, but he's not good enough for a bottom-half Premier League team, which, let's face it, is what we are at the moment. And now he wants to try and keep him. Bit fucking late, isn't it, Brendan? Where would you want to be? I tell you what, would I want to be at Leicester or would I want to go to Atletico Madrid? I'm a Leicester fan and I'd be off to bloody Atletico Madrid as quick as you could wink, I'll tell you. Simply because it would be furthering my career, Brendan. And I've said this before, you are a bellend. This amazing coach that you're supposed to be, you're not, because you're outthought by, managers who've had less experience. Arteta, a Bournemouth coach wasn't even a bloody manager, outthought you. And then you're supposed to be this great man manager. And you know what? Did I say Real Madrid? Sorry, Atletico Madrid. And you're supposed to be this great man manager. And yet you're losing players left, right and centre. I just don't know where I stand with Brendan Rodgers, because one minute I think, yeah, he's good, he's doing well for us. The next minute I think he is a total and utter bell end. I really don't know where to go with it. Faze has been brilliant, but needs to concentrate more and word clearly. He did call for the ball, but as I was saying to Steve Lynex last night, okay, what I've liked about Vass, and I'm not going to criticise him for those 2 own goals at all, but what I liked about him was the fact he's a no-nonsense defender. When he's had that ball, there's none of this fancy fucking about passing it, I'll pass it to that player, he's got 2 players marking him, but who cares? I'll pass it to him anyway. He kicks the ball into Rose Ed. If he had left that ball and Ward had cocked it up, Face would have been absolutely crucified for not going in and trying to save it. I think he did the right thing. Whether you get a shout or not, if you think you can put that into Rose Ed, you stick it in Rose Ed. And I tell you something as well, you give him 100 chances of doing that again, and he couldn't do it again. It was a freak. You see, you say you're Klopping, Doug, and maybe it's Liverpool fans, but I think if Klopp was doing what he's doing at Liverpool at Man United, would you want him in? Okay, he had, let's be honest, he had one fantastic season for you when you virtually, 18 months when you virtually won everything that was available for you to win. Apart from that, I'm not so sure. And again, he loses players, and maybe the ones that he should keep. It is, but like I say, mate, we're not in that position. It's easy for us to say watching it, isn't it? Yeah, Maddison has a new injury problem. Of course he does. Every fucking player that plays for Leicester has a new injury problem. He was fit enough to go to the World Cup, according to the Leicester medics. He was fit enough to go to the World Cup, according as well to the England medics. He then couldn't play in the first 2 games because he was injured. How do you work that one out when he's been deemed fit? He's then obviously not match fit for the 3rd game. The next 2 games he's on the bench, so he's deemed fit enough to be able to play. He then has a week off, and he then comes back and gets a new fucking injury. Is Brendan going around kicking these players himself? Now, you see, Gray, you say this, and I, if it wasn't for the fact that I knew I would get absolutely harpooned on social media, I actually did think that, Aston Villa, West Ham are being urged to go for him. Okay, he's not going to cost us 80 million. He knows the club. He knows Brendan. If we are going to go out and buy a defender for 30 million, could we not put a cheeky bid in for 30 million to Manchester United for him? I'd have him back. Would I have him back? 100% I'd have him back, because when he left us, he was a top defender. He was in the England squad. He was scoring for England. He went to Man United, and they're the ones that shit him up. And I've got to be honest with you, Leicester's no different. We absolutely berated Chilwell as being rubbish, and yet he was England's first choice left back. We like to pick on players at Leicester City, and other teams do it as well. If we take a dislike to a player, and he was picked on, and you tell me any defender that was good for Man United during that season, because they were shit, all of them, and he got all the blame. Captain, maybe. But yeah, I would have him back in a flash. They're all talking about Liverpool. Lifty's in. Good evening, Lifty. How are you? We were shocking yesterday. I don't think we will make top 4. Well, the only thing that's in your favour is if you don't make top 4, who will do? Because you've got Tottenham, who are going through a bit of off-the-field turmoil at the moment. You've got Chelsea. Potter's not going to last there. Wrong decision to go. Wrong decision to go. They should never have got rid of Tuchel, but you know what Americans are like. Sorry, Nate. American managers are like, owners are like, and I just can't. Let's have a look at the table, because I just don't know. You might just get it by default, if I'm honest with you. And we're going to go on to the stats in a second, but just talking about this, let's have a look at the table. I think the top 3, I've got to be honest with you, the top 3 are going to be Arsenal, Man City and Newcastle United. I'm convinced of that. I said Newcastle United 6th, but they're just doing well. And good luck to them. Good luck to them. They deserve it. You've then got Manchester United, who, let's be honest with you, despite all the hype about the rebuild, they're doing really well. I didn't think they'd be doing this well whilst they were going through a rebuild. So big up to them. And it's Man United, Spurs, Liverpool, or Chelsea. You would think that Brentford, Fulham, Brighton, Palace, and the rest would fall away. And no disrespect to them, but you just would. Out of those at the moment, I've got to say Man United look for me the most likely to get that top 4 place. I really do. It's always a Leicester or Liverpool player getting injured. What does it say about our training facility, Lifty? And great, yeah. No, you're right, mate. You are right. You know my feelings on the French person that's left us, but he did say that when he came in, and maybe he's just right. Maguire was, like I said, and I would have him back in a. You've got to remember when you move to these clubs, it's the expectation, and you know our expectations. Let's be honest, probably going to be a little bit less than Man United, and I don't mean that nastily, but you know, size of club that Man United are. And of course, he was the most expensive defender at the time, etc., etc., etc. But yeah, I would have him back in a heartbeat. I think it's going to be Leicester 2-1 against Fulham. I hope so. I'll take that. Hayden's in. Good evening. And he's saying, who's going to the game today? If you're not going to the game, stop in and watch it on the Leicester Till I Die watch along. I'm on my Todd tonight, so come and keep me company. But if you are going to the game, stay safe, guys. Stay safe. I have Arsenal, Man City, Man United, and Newcastle making top four. I'm pretty much with you on that. I think that's what I've just said. So yeah, I agree. I don't think they will. Marcus, Fulham to win 3-0. You remember, so I love you. But again, wouldn't surprise me. Depends which Leicester turn up. Don't forget to check out my blog on BBC website on the Leicester City football homepage on the BBC website. I think there'll be a race for Liverpool. Spurs, Chelsea 7-6. Absolutely, Chris. Expectations do figure a lot. They do. And when it's going badly, you look for a scapegoat, do you not? And I think he got it. Enjoy it, Hayden, mate. Stay safe. Stay safe if you are going. Pop in at half time and let us know how it's going, if you can get a signal. I tell you what, I noticed somebody posted in the Facebook group, and fair play to Liverpool, free Wi-Fi within Anfield. Could we not do that at the Walkers? What am I saying? At the King Power. I mean, I've had Orange, I've had O2, I've had 3, I'm now Tesco. I can never get a signal with any of them. So free Wi-Fi would be much appreciated, top. Right, so we've got a match tonight. We are sat in 13th place, having won 2 of the last 5. Lost to Man City, beat Everton, beat West Ham. Then the World Cup came along, and so coming back, it was never going to be easy, but we had Newcastle and Liverpool. Newcastle got 3 against us. We got 3 at Anfield and obviously still lost it. We are up against the Fulham side, sat in 8th place as it stands at the moment, above Chelsea. They drew, lost before the World Cup. Since coming back, they beat Crystal Palace 3-0 and they beat Southampton 2-1. But then who doesn't beat Southampton? Leicester City. So I suppose I shouldn't have said that. Oh, excuse me, guys. Just needed that. It's a hard way to drink gin, but you know what it's like. It's got to be done. Hayden's going 3-2 Fulham. I'm nervous because Fulham are a decent team. They are, and you'll see that as I go through the stats. That I can't remember where I had Fulham. I think I might have had Fulham either in the bottom 3 or just outside. Silva, manager, didn't particularly have a good record at Everton when he was in the Premier League. But then again, who else has a good record at Everton? Let's be honest. He surprised me. He has surprised me. When you are looking at Bournemouth, who started off well, they're now down in 15th. And Forest are in 18th. They're obviously doing the best out of the 3 that have come up. I mean, it is early days yet. We've seen Leeds, we've seen Forest, all have good start. And Bournemouth, for example, all have good starts to the season and dropped off. So, yeah. As you say, Gray, Mitrovic, say it no more. Right. Well, let's have a look then, shall we? Let's have a look, Chris. I'll tell you what, we'll have a look. Here we go. This is the stats show. As it says on the tin, let us have a look at the stats. So, this is who is on the pitch in black. Well, they're not in black these days, are they? They're in any colour that they fancy putting on. We have got Debond. Not James, unfortunately. We've got Debond as the referee, and one of the new guys. Didn't really know him. Assistants are D. Cook and D. Robertson. Again, do I know them? And the fourth official is David England, is it? D. England. I tell you what, there's a load of D's there, isn't there? D. Bond, D. Cook, D. Robertson, and D. England. They're all coming to look after D. Match tonight at the King Power Stadium. Anyway, here we go. So, this is Leicester's players' form at the moment. Most appearances, Kieran Dewsbury Hall played every single game. Danny Ward, every single game. You've got Tielemans and Vardy so they're all on 17. Daka and Castagna on 16. Barnes on 15 and James Justin on 14. This obviously does include cup games as well. There's a lot of talk about that. You had a lot of goals disallowed last night as well, if I remember. Or somebody did. I didn't watch the game. Most cards, James Maddison on 5. I think there's something about once you've gone past 19 games, which is halfway, they're cleared and you start again. So it might not be a bad idea. Samare up there at 4, which I'm pleased about because you want your defensive midfielder to be getting stuck in. And he obviously has. And he goes all the way down there, as you can see, to Dennis Pratt. At the bottom. So top scorers, James Maddison 7. Now, see, this is what confuses me about fans, and what I love about football. And I'll say this all the time: I know no more than anybody else out there. I'm no expert. I've never played the game. Yes, I did a bit of coaching and did my part 1 and all that, but that's like enthusiastic dad level. So. We always, like I say, have our everybody's moaning, or not everybody, but a lot of people are moaning about Harvey Barnes. And yet, there he sits as second goal, best goal scorer this season. Maddison top with 7. As you can see, Barnes is 6. Double what Tielemans has got. Double what Daka has got. And 6 times more than Jamie Vardy's got. So, we'd be lost without him, to be honest with you. Yes. He does sometimes. I mean, a couple of seasons ago, everybody said, oh, he always takes the easy option. He always tries to pass the ball. He should be having more shots. Then the next season, he did start having more shots. But then he was accused of being greedy. I don't. You know what us fans are like. If you look up football fan in the dictionary, next to it, it says fickle. But keep going. For me, Barnes, yeah, keep going there. 6 goals, would be lost without him. Most assists, well, Maddison. So the fact that we haven't got Maddison with yet another injury is bad news because he's our top scorer and our top assist. But Vardy is up there with 4, and Pakistan Daka is there with 3. Dewsbury Hall with 2, and like you say, Gray, Kieran's goal was sublime on Friday. I mean, that reminded me of Newcastle's second against us when Almiron ran through our defence like a hot knife through butter. It was the same. Nobody wanted to take him down. Nobody can take him down. Barnes can be good if he gets past the player, then so predictable. He's got 6 goals. Can we afford to drop him with no Maddison? Yeah. I reckon, it's a conspiracy theory, this. I reckon Maddison may not be injured, but he's going to be injured and he'll make a comeback on the 1st of February when the transfer window finishes. You mark my word. You watch it. You mark my words. Joshua is in. Good evening, Joshua. Good afternoon, good morning, good day, wherever you are from. Welcome along. I believe I've not seen you before, I don't think. If I haven't, Joshua, you are more than welcome. If you have been in before, I apologise. If you are new, please subscribe to the channel. I've lost a few subscribers recently. I'm upset a few. Maybe Newcastle fans. But yeah, please subscribe. Of course, and everybody else, guys, if you are subscribed, please smash the likes. It helps. He is a big miss, and that is the worry, that when you rely so much on one player, we do miss him. We can't afford to drop him. You're quite right. Oh, at 9:15 in the evening, you're in India. I hope you've had a good day, Joshua. I hope you are well, mate, and safe and sound over there in India. Like I say, if you are new, please do click that subscribe button. Right, let's have a look at who is out for the two teams. Well, we've got Maddison, as we know. We've got Evans, we've got Bertrand, we've got Pratt, we've got Justin, and we've got Ricardo. The worrying thing for me is that it's always the same players. We are talking about offering, and I am doing tomorrow night, by the way, at 9 o'clock. I'm going to be joined by Ant from Ant's Leicester fan channel. We're going to be doing a transfer special about who we might be going for, who we should be going for, who we need to go for. And why are we offering Evans another contract? He's 35. He's injured more than, well, and when you're younger, and it's the same with Vardy as well, you get injured. I mean, I cut my hand a week ago. Now, if I was 19, 20, that would have healed. It was a paper cut. They hurt, don't they? But you know what I mean? It would have been fine in a couple of days. Now, I've still got it. It's still, as you get older, things take longer to heal. And that's the problem with Evans. Why waste? And I love Evans to bits. If he was fit, he'd be in the team. But why pay high wages on a player that is going to spend more time on the treatment table and less time on the pitch? Whether he's, yeah, I think he is. To me, I've got to be honest with you, mate, I think he is finished. I think he really is finished. I think it's desperate if we're offering him a new contract. We know Brendan's desperate because he's trying to lick Soyuncu's bottom now, isn't he? Hopefully Tillemans wakes up tonight. Hopefully so. Ricardo Pierre's a bit of a sick note. Justin, my example there about a player coming back and then getting injured again straight away. Bertrand, who cares? He's going. He runs out his contract at the end and he's gone. Fulham, on the other hand, have got, I don't know either of these two players, so no disrespect to Fulham fans if anybody's watching. I don't really know them. Cabano and Solomon are allegedly out for you. And of course, with all these facts and figures, remember, it is internet, and we can only go on what we find on the internet. Now, this one is interesting because you can see there that Fulham are in 7th. I think that this was done before, so I think they're 8th now, we said, didn't they? Didn't we? Let's have a look. Fulham are actually 8th. Yes, so the fact that it says 7th, as this was all done before last night's game, and to be quite honest with you, I couldn't be asked to do it all again. So Fulham are 8th, Leicester 13th, but in the form tables before last night's game, Fulham were 7th and we were 8th. So actually, in form, we weren't too far behind. But of course, that includes pre-World Cup, when we did go on that run. And you can see there, 1 lost, 1 lost. We need to get that form back again. It was a hard ask coming back to Newcastle and Liverpool. We held our own against Liverpool, Newcastle, we know, but we've got to get this form back. We have to get that took us into the World Cup. Terry, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good day. Happy New Year to you as well. Evans, has he really? Can you get a cream for that? I have that it can feel like you were walking on broken glass, no joke. Oh, you have it as well. Oh, sorry about that, Gray. It planned. I'm not going to say it because it might sound rude when I say it. I'd like to say Happy New Year, Terry. Nice to see you back again. Hope you had a good Christmas and New Year. So that's the form that we need to get back to. The form that, and do we write off games against the top six? We shouldn't. But, I suppose I would be more concerned if we'd lost, say, instead of losing to Newcastle and Liverpool, if we'd lost to Wolves and Southampton, let's say, so it's bloody painful. Fair enough. That's what the doctor wrote on your prescription. It's bloody painful. Okay. This is the head-to-head. We played them 8 times in the Premier League, guys, and they have won more than us. And again, worrying because every time I do this, whichever team it is, they seem to have won more than us. So we played 8, they've won 3, we've won 2, and there's been 3 draws. We've only won 1 at home, and they have won 2 away. And we know with the sort of season they're having that they are going to make it difficult for us. Recent meetings, well, this is what happened last season. We lost 2-1 in November. We beat them in February 2-0. Both away wins there, as you can see. So spoil shared last season, but we do know what last season was like. And this is the current form guide going into the match. So we've got 2 losses there, Liverpool, Newcastle. We beat West Ham. Again, they're having a struggling season. They're ready for Moyes to go. I was speaking to Jake from West Ham, unofficial, and he really, really, really wants Moyes out. And, of course, we lost to Man City. Fulham drew with Everton. Only just, again, like us, only just lost to Man City. Did the same against Man United, but then they have beat Palace. Southampton, I would say, like I say, doesn't everybody beat them? But, of course, we failed to, didn't we? And if you have a look at this next stat here, there you can see 5 wins for us, 7 wins for Fulham, 30 goals conceded for us, 29 scored for Fulham. Yeah. When you look at these things together, it does make you think, doesn't it? West Ham are in a relegation battle, says Joshua. They certainly are. They certainly are. But again, just to sidetrack very briefly, as I said to West Ham, they are very much sort of parodying what happened with Leicester. They had a relegation team. Moyes saved them. They sacked him. They're in another relegation battle. They brought him back. He saved them. And then had 2 totally amazingly and unexpected top 6 finishes. Credit to them. Got them into Europe. Got to a semi-final of a European trophy, not unlike Leicester. And now they're having a bad season, like we did last season. So, yeah. I don't know what they should do with Moyes. He wants him out, like I say. But there we go. And this is our home and away form. So Leicester City, we've played 8 at home. We've played 9 away. We've won 2 at home and lost 4. We've won 3 away and lost 6. Points per game there. Yeah, you can see. At home, we are on goal difference is 0. Away, it's on -4. Fulham on a lot better points per game, as you can see. At home, they're on 1.67 points per game. On away, they're on 1.25 points per game. Grey. I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to give you this. Only because I didn't think of it. But yeah, so away, they've played 8 games away. Won 3, lost 4. 13 goals scored, 13 goals conceded. A points average per game of 1.25. So pretty much, again, could be interesting because when you look at our home form and Fulham's away form, we could actually end up cancelling each other out. You really could. Now, this is interesting. If you like stats, and I love stats, you can make them say what you want, of course. But this is when we score in green and when we concede in red. I still say, isn't it amazing that we concede 20% of our goals from the 60th minute onwards? I'm just going to let that sink in with you for a moment. 20% of our goals are conceded after 60 minutes. And then you've got to ask yourself, what normally happens on the 60th minute? 60th minute onwards is when Brendan usually makes his substitutions. Is nobody at Leicester looking at these stats and going, maybe Brendan's getting something wrong there? Whenever he makes the changes, we always seem to concede. I'll leave that there. I'll leave that out for you. Grace says terrible. It is. But then again, let's have a look at Fulham. You know, if we can hold on in the last 15 minutes, they seem to they score a lot, but then they let a lot in as well. And we've got to watch them just after half time, because that is when they score a hell of a lot of their goals as well. He makes subs, he does. That's what he does, Gray. He makes subs. We have 11.94 shots per match. That's the average shots per match for Leicester City in the Premier League this season. 5.12 are on target every match. 6.82 are off target. Is that good enough for a Premier League side? Do you know what? I've said this, and I look at these games afterwards when we don't have a shot for a whole half. As a Premier League team, I'm going to say that's not good enough. I mean, I think, Daka came in a year too late. He should have come in a year earlier when Vardy still had some form, ready to take over. But that's just, like I say, opinions. Now, I love this next one, and bear with me on this one, because this is Leicester's strengths and weaknesses and Leicester's strengths and weaknesses. So Leicester's strengths is shooting from direct free kicks, and we are very strong on that. Again, though, that's Maddison. And like Gray has mentioned there, the question is, and I didn't read it out before because I wanted to bring this up first. The question is, without Maddison, do we have enough cutting edge? Edge? Cutting edge? I think not. Well, when you look at that, our main strength there is shooting from direct free kicks. And we haven't got the guy that's good at that. He's our top scorer, he's our top assist maker, and he's one of our, he's our strongest link in the team. We're going to miss him. Creating long shot opportunities as well is strong. Again, does that mean that we just like shooting from long range? Fulham's strengths are finishing scoring chances, and they're all strong. These are all strong. Attacking set pieces, attacking down the wings, creating scoring chances, and aerial duets, whatever that happens to be. So that is the strength, a lot more than ours. Leicester's weaknesses: we are weak at protecting the lead. Aerial duels, avoiding individual errors, defending counter-attacks, defending set pieces, defending against long shots. I would hope that the defensive set piece coach that's come in, maybe he was a bit late coming back from Qatar for the first couple of games after Christmas. We're weak, and we are very weak at defending against long shots. Now, again, I take it at the moment, I'm taking that with a little pinch of salt, because obviously at the start of the season, we were bad at defending anything. So I think we're still taking those. They override a lot of the other figures as well. Fulham's weaknesses, again, protecting the lead. They don't hold on to the leads very well. And defending against through ball attacks. So hopefully they're very weak at that. Hopefully we can create with that, with either Vardy or Daka, whoever's starting. Hope that they can take advantage of that. What is Brendan Rodgers' style of play? Asked Joshua. Depending which way the wind's blowing, mate, to be honest with you. Here's a stat for you, says Terry. During the year 2022, we never beat a team when they were above 12th in the league at the time of playing them. Wow. Is that true, Terry? Good God. And Bath is in, but he's called Christmas now. Christmas time with Vaughan. Happy New Year to you, sir. How the devil are you? Well, I hope. Welcome along. I thought you changed your name back. I thought I saw you in a chat the other day. I don't know. Christmas time with Vaughan. Ho, ho, ho. Welcome along, mate. Nice to see you. Where are the stats at? They're all off the internet on different pages, mate. I can't see at the moment. If you want to message me or send me a tweet if you want the stats, I'll show you where I get them from. But that, to me, well, what Leicester, we didn't do the styles, did we? Leicester's style is we're taking long shots, short passes, attempt through balls often. But we're non-aggressive, we're playing in their own half, and we play the offside trap. So that's our style of play. And I've got to say, that's pretty much spot on. We do attempt the through ball. We're not particularly aggressive. We do seem to hold the ball a lot up in our own half as well. No, mate, I didn't even see his show yesterday, so I don't know, mate. I don't know. Oh, you got that one, did you? Sorry, mate. Sorry, you got that one. What does non-aggressive mean? Hey, there's all these new ones coming through. I take it that we're not aggressive, as in going forward very much, and we're not an aggressive team at all in that way. Fulham style is they play with width. They attempt crosses a lot. They take a lot of shots. They also play the offside trap, just like ourselves. But they do have a consistent first 11. Oh, what we would give for that, guys? And they are aggressive. So that could be an interesting duel. But when you sum it all up, and this is how it sums up. So taking the strengths and weaknesses are calculated from the statistics of each player's last two seasons. Fulham will dominate in the air, likely. Fulham will score as a result of an opposition error, likely. Fulham will score from a set-piece situation, likely. Match forecast is generated from clashes in team characteristics. Who will score first? Apparently Leicester. We've scored first in 11 out of 17 matches. Fulham have only scored first in 8 out of 17. Paul, yeah, we're doing a transfer show tomorrow, mate, so we'll be talking transfers on that show. So we could very much, well, the thing is, if we score first, can we hold on to it? That is the problem. We don't. Will Leicester City score? Uncertain. We've scored in 50% of our home matches, but Fulham have kept clean sheets in only 25% of their away matches. So, uncertain. There's an uncertainty whether Leicester City will score a goal based on their data. Will Fulham score? Medium chance. 87% of away matches Fulham have scored in. And Leicester have only kept clean sheets in 38% of their home matches. Wow. Now then, let's have a look at some positional statistics. This is overall where we like to attack. And as you can see, we are pretty much matching. This could end up 0-0 tonight, I mean. You realise that. Left side, well, you can have a look there. 38-39, 36-36 on the near side, and 25-23 down the middle. It's it just said now shot directions. Left side, 21% of our shots come from. That's probably, let's be honest with you, Barnes, where they only have 12% on that side. We have 15 from the right. They have 17, pretty much the same. And in the middle, 64-71. So it looks like it's Barnes that is going to prove our dangers from the on the team for us. As he does in fairness. He does in most games. I mean, he doesn't always, like you say, make the right choice. I mean, he has got the end product. He doesn't always make the right choice, but that's where a lot of the attacks come down. And this is the shot zones. So our shots, 6% were from inside the 6-yard box, 54% was inside the 18-yard box, and 40% was from outside the box. Comparing that to Fulham, 10% from inside the 6-yard box, 64% inside the 18-yard box, and 26% from outside of the box. I always think, having watched the Women's Euros, having watched the Men's Euros, having watched the World Cup, long shots, I think it's what is the point? Yes, you've got the chance that it's going to hit somebody and go in. That is the biggest plus, I guess, for shooting from outside the box. But at least 50% of the shots do not even land on target. When you see them say, they had 30 shots, but only 5 on target, because 25 of them ended up in row Z. And we saw a lot of it in the World Cup as well. It's almost a panic decision to start shooting, in my eyes, from outside the box. It really is. Okay, and this is the action zones. Where, as you can see, for both Leicester and for Fulham, our middle third is where most of our action takes place. I can't say that was me and the ex-wife, but there we go. Certainly, I didn't have much to do in the opposition third. But again, like Gray said, it is going to be a tight game tonight. Sorry, Terry said it. Sorry. We've got a right game on our hands tonight. I think we have, to be honest with you. That I don't know. If we went that deep into it all, it didn't give it me that option. But I guess they are included. But I don't know. But I'm just talking about generally. We do take a lot of long shots as a team, and I don't like long shots. I think you're gambling as to where it's going to go. These days, taking long shots is passing the ball to your mate in the stands so he can say, hey, I touched the match ball. That's all they are. I don't like long shots at all. Yes, they can say sometimes. Don't get me wrong, look at Tielemans and some of his long shots. They can work. And some of a certain percentage of them also say take a deflection and go in. But the majority actually just go everywhere. But don't tell Tielemans I said that. Score predictions for tonight. Well, this is what myself and the ex-players have gone for. And a couple of, obviously, Leicester Till I Die presenters. Brad went for a 3-1 victory to Leicester. I went for a tighter 2-1 victory. And Craig went with Brad for a 3-1 victory as well. And in fairness, I can't knock Brad because Brad went spot on for Liverpool last night. Jerry Taggart has gone 2-1 to Leicester. Ian Marshall, love Marshy. He's so sort of like, I know I used to play for Leicester, but I'm going to say it as it is. He's gone 2-1 to Fulham. Ian Wilson has gone 3-1 to Leicester. Steve Linux and Steve Walsh, the two Steves, to me, to you, have both gone 2-1. and 2-1 is the most popular choice there, with 4 choices, 3-1 being second with third. And I have to say, I don't say it enough, but I've got to say, with big thanks to Jerry Taggart, Ian Marshall, Ian Wilson, Steve Lynex, who of course comes on to the prediction show, and Steve Walsh. And it's not a lot of time for them to do that, but the fact that they do it is really, really much appreciated. Joshua says he thinks 3-1 to Leicester. Of course he did. Yes, he did. He played for Everton as well. But yes, he's been around, Marshy. He has been around. Right, so there we go, guys. Those are all the stats ahead of tonight's game. Again, got time if you want to stick some predictions in the in the chat, as Nate has just done as well. He's gone 2-1. I'll be asking again in the watch along, so don't worry. I'm not. I've got mixed emotions on this one. Like I said, and I say, please do check it out. BBC website, Leicester City homepage, Tuesday Talking Point. It is moi that does that. And I'm just worried if the Newcastle Foxes turn up, we could get stuffed. We could be the turkeys again. If the Liverpool one turns up for getting their own goals, yeah, that could be interesting. We mustn't forget, I'm looking at this and thinking, well, it's Fulham. But look where they are. Look where they are. Gray's gone 2-1 to Leicester as well. Terry says, thanks, Chris. Thank you very much, mate. This is only the second one I've done of these, so I don't know whether people like it or whether it's too many stats. And like I say, remember, stats are stats. You can get 2 political parties with the same stat and they can make it sound 2 different things. And it's the same with football. You can get 2 supporters look at the same stats. It can mean one thing to one thing to another. I'm taking the stats off the internet. I'm interpreting them the way that I am seeing it. Doesn't mean that I am seeing it right. So but I love stats. I love stats. Thank you very much, Gray, as well. Let me know whether you want me to carry on doing this. Like I say, it's I like it because I like stats. And like I say, it's just the way that I interpret them, but you guys interpret them different in the chat. By all means. Like I say, football is opinions. Stats is all about interpretation. But we get down to the real business later on tonight. As Joshua says, yes, we should have won, Joshua. But, hey, this is what's happening.
Coming up next on Leicester Till I Die TV.
Join me at 7:15, guys, when we were doing the watch along. I say on my Todd, so please come and join me. Give me somebody to talk to. Hopefully it's an interesting game. And I will see you at 7:15 for a 7:45 kickoff. And we'll probably be looking at 1 or 2 stats again as well. And we'll also be looking at the team news, of course. Thank you very much. Like I say, if you are new, everybody, or anybody that is new, yeah. Where does it end, Gray? Where does it end? I literally, this is half the stats that I could have put up. And this is off 5 different websites that I've gone on to. None of them are Wikipedia, just to let you know. They're all betting sites, so there you go. Thank you, Joshua, mate. Thanks for popping on. Hope you subscribed before you went. Appreciate your time. Take care over there in India, mate. Take care. So yeah, I've got to pick certain stats, you know. Otherwise we'd be here until kickoff. But yeah. Can't make tonight. Taking the missus out to see you in the next one. Oh, you're taking the missus out to see me. Hello. Taking her out. Good, is it a birthday? Wow. Hey, have a good night, mate. Have a good night. Thank you, Joshua. Appreciate that, mate. Really, really do. Like I say, I'm going to go now, get something to eat. I'm going to be back, like I say, 7:15. If you can't be there, obviously, I mean, you know, we're still in the holiday season, aren't we? We are still in the holiday season. Thank you very much for popping on now, though. Really do appreciate all your support always, guys. And I will be back. Cheers, Gray. Night says, see you for the watch along. The stat shows are interesting. Enjoy all the club. Brilliant. Thank you for that, Nate. Means a lot. And I will see you, like I say, tonight, 7:15. Be there or be non-spherical or be taking the missus out like Gray. Have a good one. Thanks very much, guys. See you later.
That's all, folks.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye and see you next time.
Thanks for watching. These videos are tremendous. You better like them too, or I'll be back.
Leicester Till I Die.